What are all of you doing out here? This is not where you're supposed to be. I swear, nothing says spring like putting eggs in the incubator. And so yes, as you just saw, I now officially have a bunch of goose eggs in the incubator up there. Good morning, medium multicolored, not quite dogs, as well as large white farm dogs. How's everybody doing this morning? Lauren, I think I've got to start doing some things to get the goats under control because they're starting to get a little bit out of whack. Like even poor Abby dog is getting headbutted these days. Lauren is bossy. Lauren is kind of like becoming the alpha animal of the farm. I think I'm gonna have to take corrective measures on that before the dogs get too annoyed. Hi buddy, how's it going? Hi sweetie. How's it going? How are both of my dogs? So yeah, last year's hatching season was kind of a disaster. And I'm hoping to learn from my mistakes and do better this year. Like, I don't know what it was exactly. I have some theories about what it was. I actually even bought a second incubator and replaced it. And then when I did testing against my old incubator and my new incubator, it turned out the old incubator was actually performing better in terms of maintaining consistent humidity as well as heat levels. And so I returned the new incubator and then I set back up the old incubator, and I had already replaced the humidity pump on the old incubator. It actually worked pretty well with my chickens, and so I've decided, after a lot of hand-wringing, to actually stick with the original incubator. And now I'm very curious to see what sort of results I get over the next 30 days-ish or so. Oh, looks like these sneak-out ducks we're just trying to steal some food. You got Ron Swanson on the far left here. Two actually other Khaki Campbell Cayuga mixes hanging out while all the other birds are stuck inside. In we go. Come on, Eps. In we go. We're really gonna spread out the food today because it's a, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's beautiful. It's a very nice day. It's like 33 degrees Fahrenheit, no wind. And so for an April day in Vermont, I'll take it. Say again. So goose mating season is still in full swing. And we're also still in the peak of mud season, but so far it has not been a bad spring at all. We'll definitely say that for sure. And hopefully I don't jinx myself by saying that. Good morning, Bean the duck. How are you doing, sweetie? I think she's trying to find her way over to the pond. All right, Abs, should we go look for some eggs? This tire has actually become a very popular goose nest. Looks like we got a couple duck eggs right here. Nothing in that one. Let's investigate my least favorite nest. Doesn't look like anybody put any eggs there. So it looks like we got a couple of duck eggs over here. And what might you be sitting on, ma'am? Excuse me, miss. I'm gonna need you to get up. Oop. Oh, you weren't sitting on any goose eggs, but you got a whole bunch of duck eggs here. Got a couple more duck eggs in here. There's another good one. There we go. And by the way, if you're looking for baked goods made with our duck eggs, you should definitely check out the Peacham Cafe. Looks like Abby spotted another egg. You're looking at this egg like you want to charge it a finder's fee, Abby. What's up with that? Oh, looks like she's already working on the clutch of chicken eggs for this morning. Ah, yes, these are nice and fresh. All right, so it's looking like my total egg haul for this morning is 13 duck eggs, 4 chicken eggs, and 1 goose egg. I should probably get, I don't know, maybe about another, 16 to 20 chicken eggs and probably 2 or 3 more goose eggs. The goose eggs that I'm collecting right now, like this one, for example, will go into the incubator next week. So the way I'm gonna do it for the next couple of weeks now is all the goose eggs I collect will be held for somewhere between 7 and 24 hours. And then once that happens, those go in the incubator, and I'll just keep doing that once a week for the next probably about 3 weeks or so before I end goose hatching season. But then I'll probably switch over pretty quickly this year to chicken hatching season. And the ducks are very happy that I forgot to turn off the water. Oh dear. One thing that does happen in goose hatching season is you have a lot more goose on goose violence. The geese just get more protective and aggressive in general. Most times of the year, they're actually very chill. This is like the one time of the year where they don't get dangerous at all, but they just get aggressive. And like if you had small children and geese, it would probably terrify them. But such is the way of geese. All right, let's go. Come on, Abs. Come on, Topes. Let's go. We're going to take care of the cattle now. I'm actually very curious to see how our two calves are doing, as well as Allison and I have finally decided on a name for the first calf that we had. Dog's in with me. I know, it's a little muddy over in this spot. The rest of it's actually dried out pretty nicely. Unfortunately, the part where the gate is actually the lowest part of their yard. And so that's where all the water generally migrates down to. And so it gets kind of messy. Aw, look, Abby's saying hello to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, even though Buffy's now trying to like play with her, which isn't good. Belinda Carlisle, are you gonna have your calf soon? I'm hoping. You look like you're ready. Hello, Alice B. Tokeless. How are you? Hey, it's Betty Rubble and Betty White and Belle and Ariel, who should also calf very soon. But you're looking large and in charge there, gal. Good morning, baby bee. How are you, sweetie? I don't have any treats this morning. I'm just saying hi. And look what we got here. She's like the queen of the mountain. How's it going, sweetie? So that's our first calf that just sprinted over there to go hang out with her mom by the hay. And she is the one who actually has a name now. And now because Anne of Green Gables, who's her mom, I don't have any treats for you today, Anne. Sorry, don't smack me with those horns. Well, Anne, since she's a first generation, she gets an A name. And since her mom, that little one there, her mom, is an A name, that means she's automatically a B name. And so her name is gonna be Buttercup, or as you can even see with her personality starting to emerge as she climbed up on the top of that hay bale, Princess Buttercup. So yeah, that is Princess Buttercup right there with her mom, Anna Green Gables. And I don't have any alfalfa cubes. Like what she's doing there where she like wags her head, that's her language for telling me she wants a treat. Baby's already starting to try to eat hay just like its mom. Don't worry, little one. Pretty soon you're gonna have your first taste of fresh grass too. Would you look at Amanda hug and kiss right now? I don't know if you guys can see it, but like she almost looks lopsided. She's got so much more mass on this side versus that side. You're a good girl, Amanda. Can I pet you? Oh no, you don't want me to pet you? Okay. And then here's our other calf. She still doesn't have a name, but she's gonna actually need a C name. So because her mom is Bonnie McMurray, that means that her little one needs to get a C name because she's part of the third generation. I still haven't quite come up with it yet. I have a couple of favorites in mind, but we're still working on it. So any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. You know, one of the things I'm noticing is, number one, she's looking lighter than she did the day she was born. And then number two, I have never seen a calf this curly. I mean, Scottish Highland calves always come out shaggy, but she has these like tight curls almost. And so I'm really curious to see how she develops. But yeah, she is really pretty. She's doing well too. She's getting more energy. You can see she's drinking milk from her mom right now. This is exactly the type of stuff you want to see at this age. And then here's another cow who's probably looking pretty ready to go. So really over the next week or two, I am expecting a whole heck of a lot more little babies showing up here on the farm. This is kind of a fun time of year. I think the one unfun part of this time of year is the fact that it is so wet and muddy. Like we just had more rain last night, and so it just makes this pasture so hard to keep fresh. But I am starting to think that I might open this up just a little bit today and let them go have more of the pasture. I guess before I open it up, the thing I'm going to need to do is actually set up a fence because I don't want them to go too far into that area because it's still so wet. I easily have a good, I don't know, 100, 120 feet that I can run them down that way, and it's probably like 30 feet by 100 feet. And so I think they will appreciate the fresh grass. So it's kind of nice to bust one of these guys out right now. This is the first time I've used one all year, but come probably a month from now, definitely a month and a half from now, I'll be using one of these at least once, probably even twice a day to set the fencing for the cattle. What this is actually a reel of what's known as polywire. So it's like metal filaments woven in with a plastic strand. So the plastic gives it some strength, but the metal makes it electric, and that lets me run a current through it to keep the cattle from going where I don't want them to go. So what we're gonna do here now is take this alligator clip it to the fence like that, and then, do you see that top wire running right there? That is electrified. It's got about 10,000 volts. It's 1 joule, so it's designed to kind of definitely wake an animal up if they transgress. We're gonna just connect it like that. And now this fence should be live. Since this is the first fencing of the season, I think it's worth just checking it. Make sure everything's working. All right, that's looking good. 9.8, that's just right about where it should be. So now this fence is live, and I want to be very careful that I don't touch it. But what we're gonna do next is we're gonna open up the gate, and we'll give the cattle the access to their additional space. Doing this expansion was always part of my spring plans, where I would start to slowly but surely, as the pasture dried out, expand out their space. I'm doing it a little bit earlier than I'd like, but I want to just give them some extra grass and some extra space, and so that's what's going on here. Another thing you might notice is this strand down here is much lower than it typically would be. Usually I don't go any lower than the second strand on here for cattle, but because I want to keep little calves inside, as well as break heifers of their bad habits, as well as prevent goats from sneaking in, I'm going to go really low with this one. Also, because we're still just in April, I'm not too worried about grass growth trying to short out the fence, so it should be fine. All right, so let's open this fence up and see who comes through. My best guess is that baby B is gonna be the first one to come through, because baby B just be like that. All right, let's let it rip. See, what did I tell you? What's up, baby B? You got more space now. I mean, look, girl, there's no grass to eat, but got just more space. Now, baby B is one of those sassy heifers whose habits I want to break. So let's see what she does here. She probably knows enough not to just put her nose up against that fence. You know, she's lived with this electric fencing her entire life, so she kind of knows it. She sometimes also likes to be a little bit of a brat. Whoa! I just heard hooves. I was like, what was that? And it's like, oh, it's Anna Green Gables checking out the new space. All right, I got to get out of here, else I'm going to get trampled if I'm not careful. I can see all the girls actually getting very interested in this. I think they're probably a little disappointed though, that there's no fresh grass or hay or something. They're used to me opening something up and then that being immediate stuff to munch on, but not too much to munch on here today. That was kind of funny, like Annie chased out baby B. Like she wants this turf to herself and she doesn't want to let these gals in. I don't know, we'll figure it all out. Won't we, girls? You know, Belinda, if you want to have your calf on this fresh grass, I would not be opposed at all. I'm just saying, this is a better spot, like objectively speaking. And look, your mom's already there. I don't know where your little sister is though. Yeah, see, Belinda is actually Anne's other daughter. And so she's due to calve any day now. So who knows, maybe she'll give this a shot. Keep waiting to see if one of the cattle tests the fence. Just to give me reassurance that it's on. And it's chasing out her daughter too. That's the one thing I gotta actually be careful about with this setup, is that they chase each other to the point that somebody gets spooked and knocked out of here. That's probably the more likely scenario versus somebody wandering out of here. We'll see how they handle it. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. You might be wondering why it's a little bit lower on here, and just when it touches up against the plastic, it kills some of the voltage. So that's why it looks lower than when I was touching the top fence. All right, baby B, stay out of trouble. Oh, Abby, you got so muddy, so muddy. Luckily, your grooming is very, very soon. 2 hours later. What are you doing out here? What are all of you doing out here? This is not where you're supposed to be. Oh no, this just turned into a disaster. Toby dog, what are we gonna do about this? Hey, Abby dog, what are you doing? I need your help here, girl. This is chaos. This is not what I wanted at all. It looks like they knocked over their fence, and yes, this whole plan backfired very, very quickly. All right, let's figure out how we get them back in. I think my best bet is to actually lure them with treats and see if I can't convince them all to come in. So you guys stay here and observe while I go get treats. So I was inside up in my office, and Allison called up to me asking if the cows were supposed to be out. And there is nothing that you will hear that will more quickly freak you out and get you outside than that phrase. And so I ran out here and just, yeah, they were basically out by the front gate of the bird yard, which is not where you want your cattle to be. Alice, I want you out of my junk pile. Come on. I know, I gotta clean this stuff up. I have plans for changing this structure, but none of these things are helped by you guys being here. Yeah, I can see what happened here. I'm gonna guess that exactly what I thought would happen, happened. Girls got spooked, or they were jockeying for dominance with each other, and they just knocked down the fence that I put up. And now they're all creating problems. Annie, can you lead the way? Come on, Audrey, in you go. Come on, girls, come on, in you go, come on. Amelia, come on, in you go, girls, come on. Hit. Come on, baby bee. Bring up the rear, come on. Hey, 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 Buffy, don't hurt my camera, please. Oh, all right, now let's quickly close this up. Well, I guess we can scratch that idea off the list of things to try. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Shame used to be the thing that kept society from melting into chaos. Shame, uncomfortable as it is to feel, wasn't originally intended to harm or degrade individuals. Evolutionarily speaking, shame emerged as a crucial emotional mechanism that was deeply embedded in our human psychology.